Guys, welcome back to the Cows channel, where today, yet another developer has closed, but today we're talking about Concord's developer Firewalk, because apparently Sony decided to close them today, and it came as both not a shock and a massive shock. That's what we're looking here to today. The first article is by Andy Robertson here on Video Games Chronicle, and then we have another one that we'll look at in a second. But according to a release from Sony, after much thought, we have decided the best path forward is to permanently sunset the game and close the studio. So as we know, Concord was released. It is a technically sound but unimaginative shooter, unfortunately. If you liked it, I'm not trying to insult you. I'm just saying we have Overwatch at home. The character designs looked very similar to each other, and Overwatch somehow. It was like I could play the Overwatch-like game, or I can go play Overwatch. And with Deadlock coming out soon from Valve, there's not really a good reason why you would want to play this game. But Firewalk Studios will be permanently closed, as SI Entertainment said in a statement today. And also mobile game developer Neon Koi. I don't know who that is, but this is the big thing that people worry about. So earlier they had said they would just take the game offline, refund everybody, and then figure out what they want to do with it after the poor reception. And the other article we'll go look at is this update about their farewell message, and that would explore the possibility of bringing the game back in a revised form. However, PlayStation co-CEO Herman Host has confirmed the company has decided not to do that and to instead sunset the title. Regarding Firewalk, as announced in early September, certain aspects of Concord were exceptional, but others did not land with enough players, and as a result we took the game offline. We have spent considerable time these past few months exploring all of our options. It's only been 2 months. How much time could you have spent? After much thought, which is probably very little, we have determined the best path forward is to permanently sunset the game and close Firewalk Studios. I want to thank all of Firewalk for the craftsmanship, creative spirit, and dedication. He goes on to say the PvP first-person shooter genre is a competitive space that's continuously evolving. And unfortunately, we did not hit our targets with this title. We will take the lessons learned from Concord and continue to advance our live service capabilities to deliver future growth in this area. Or you're not, because you're firing and getting rid of all the people who learned the lessons. But, kudos, I guess? I know none of this is easy to hear, particularly with colleagues and friends departing SIE. Both decisions were given serious thought, and ultimately we felt the right ones to strengthen the organization. Translation, they lost $400 million and not allowing themselves to lose anymore. Neon Koi and Firewalk were home to many talented individuals we don't care about, and we will continue to find placement for some of those impacted with our global community of studios where possible, but probably not a lot because we don't care. I'm a big believer in the benefits of embracing creative experimentation and developing new IP. Are you? However, growing through sustainable finances, translation, I need my bonus to be safe, especially in a challenged economic environment, is critical. While today is a difficult day, there is much to look forward to in the months ahead from the studio business group and our teams. I remain confident that we are building a resilient and capable organization driven by creating unforgettable entertainment experiences for our players by firing the developers after releasing an average game and mocking the people who didn't like it. That last part is me. Some of that stuff was me. Look, you gotta read through the BS corporate stuff sometimes, guys. So, Firewalk is based in Washington, founded in 2018, acquired by Sony last year as they were getting close to the finish line on Concord, and it was reportedly development for around 8 years, cost $200 million. Sony will lose a total of at least $400 million on it, as per previous articles. The title received mixed or average reviews from critics, where it has scores of 62 for the PS5 and 65 for the PC, and according to reports, the game may have sold as few as 25,000 copies. This is another major setback for PlayStation's live service ambitions. They have not had a lot of luck after, they had Helldivers, which was great, and then PlayStation made a couple of player-unfriendly decisions and just nuked their player base to the ground. Helldivers 2 is still going, and it has a chance to crawl back, but unfortunately Concord and Firewalk will not. Sony has said last November, almost a year ago, was going to halve the number of live service games it planned to release in a bid to ensure they meet quality expectations. Apparently they're not doing that very well. So I do want to get to this because the Firewalk Studios did post their farewell from good old time Ivan here. Ovid? Oh boy, work was tough today, guys. Tom Ivan here on Video Games Chronicles. As Sony has confirmed that they are sunsetting it. Acquired it last year and now closing it after the debut bomb. Live service shooter for $200 million. An early report claimed it cost $400 million. $200 million to the initial, as per Kotaku. The amount wasn't enough to cover the full development and also didn't include the acquisition of the Concord IP rights or Firewalk Studios itself. Somebody got paid a lot of money for this. An owner or something. They took the game offline, pulled for sales. Okay, so they posted this farewell message to X. I'm going to read it here and not show you the Twitter one because some of those Twitter comments are savage, guys. But here's the full statement. Firewalk is signing off one last time. Began with the idea of bringing joy of multiplayer to a larger audience. Along the way, we assembled an incredible team who were able to navigate a growing new startup into a team during a global pandemic. Firewalk was founded in 2018. It was very small for its first couple years, only entering full production in 2022. Build a new, customized, next-generation first-person shooter engine in Unreal 4, moving to 5, delivering top-tier gameplay feel, beautiful worlds, and a performant 60 FPS technical experience on a stable and scalable back-end on PS5 and PC to hundreds of thousands of players in our beta. So first of all, look, no one's saying the game's not technically, but the game is technically great. It's very playable, has few bugs, handles well, it's everything you want in a first-person shooter. Going for Unreal 4 to 5 is also very good. I don't know if they had hundreds of thousands of players in the beta, or if they did for very long, because as I understand, the beta didn't have a lot of players, but I'm not here to beat up on people who just lost their jobs. Manage an acquisition integration where readying technical and preliminary tests, yeah. Sony bought them. They probably had to deal with the usual corporate BS. And ultimately ship and deliver a great first-person experience to players, even if it landed more narrowly than hoped against a heavily consolidated market. Yeah, making a brand new IP for hundreds of millions of dollars in a heavily consolidated market, not a great move, honestly. You've got, I've said it, you've got Overwatch. You've got Deadlock coming out, which is an Overwatch-style game, but with the mechanics and map of freaking League of Legends. And also, Marvel Rivals is coming to eat Overwatch's lunch with a bunch of cool superheroes. So yeah, this was always going to be a tough lift. We took some risks along the way, marrying aspects of COD battlers and fighting games with first-person shooters. And although some of these and other aspects of the IP didn't land as we hoped, the idea of putting new things into the world is critical to pushing the medium forward. I feel like that's just patting yourself on the back, but again, I'm not here to beat up on people who just lost their jobs. The talent at Firewalk and the level of individual craft is truly world-class, and teams within Sony Interactive Entertainment across the industry will be fortunate to work with them. Please reach out to recruiting at PlayStation for inquiries. And thank you to all the many teams, partners, and fans who support us along the way. See you in the Tempest. I think the Tempest was the name of the ship that you traveled on in the game. So yeah, they're also closing Neon Koi, which is the mobile game developer formerly known as Savage Game Studios, which it acquired in 2022. Don't know what they even make. They're not really talked about. While mobile remains a priority growth area for studio business, we are in the very early stage of a mobile effort, said Herman Host again. To achieve success in this area, we need to concentrate on titles that are in line with PlayStation Studios' pedigree and have the potential to reach more players globally. With this refocused approach, Neon Koi will close and its mobile action game will not be moving forward. I want to express my gratitude to everyone at Neon Koi for their hard work and endless passion to innovate. Translation, get the hell out of here, we don't think you're making anything good, and Concord has us scared. So, what is the cow's opinion on this little update? Because everyone's talking about this, guys. You've probably seen tons of other people talking about. And yeah, this sucks. There's tons of stuff coming out. I'm sure there's going to be a deep dive in the next couple of weeks that we can look forward to. Because a lot of people put a lot of passion. A small team of people put years into this, 4 years into this, and then they went full on in 2022. And they developed a game, and it was... look, it wasn't buggy. You could play it. It was stable. It was fantastic. Handled well. It was very Overwatchy, only less. The roster looked like the same person was wearing all the different costumes on at least half the slots. It's a world where like there's tons of aliens and robots, and the roster is very few aliens and robots. Why are you showing me these things if I can't play them? It was another hero shooter in a crowded market that didn't do anything that hit with audiences to stand out. And I'm sorry that happened. I'm sorry that the team is getting punished. There were rumors that Sony may have mandated some of the changes that people didn't like or didn't care for. Again, at some point, someone's going to release a tell-all article. We'll look it up when it happens. It's probably... These guys and girls are going to feel more comfortable talking as they leave Sony Interactive or get new jobs or go off on their own. We'll see what happens. But the bad thing about this is that this is just yet more layoffs in a crowded, going on almost 2 years of terrible video game consolidation because they thought that the pandemic numbers were the new norm, and they weren't. Once we could go outside and do stuff, we will go outside and do stuff. And I still love video games, and I play them too much. But this is unfortunately what we are dealing with, and I hope, and nobody at Sony is going to be held responsible for their part in this, and in fact, that CEO is going to get a huge bonus, and that's the part that sucks. He's going to get a huge bonus after putting lots of developers out to pasture because the mandated games and changes that they released aren't hitting with fans. So, guys, let me know in the comments below. Did you ever even try Concord or its beta? Are you sad that it went? Are you not surprised? Do you think the game was awesome? Did you think it sucked? Let me know in the comments below. And you know what else you can do? You can play more games. And games are awesome. It's important that you play the games that you think are awesome because otherwise Concord and Neon Koi go bye-bye. And you deserve awesome. And I'll see you next time. Yeah, this is like the last pick we're going to get of Concord, unfortunately. And I have no idea why this person's wearing a box on their head. It's weird.